You can go ahead and start. You can hit the timer on that, Jill, if you want.
Okay, so this is my story of trial and error and how I went on to start exploring my interest in camphor. So before I start, this is who I am. In 2006, this is my first science experiment, and it was that day that I started. I knew that it was what I wanted to do, and that was my interest. So that was my first experiment. I just put mentors in the code, and I just got really interested in doing experiments. So my inspiration was mainly from my dad, because he really helped me got exposed to all this scientific tricky stuff. And then, so I really like to ask questions, and it's because I ask questions so that I know that there's a lot of things I do not know, and that helps me want to learn more. So where did this all start? About a year ago, my friend and I were hiking, and then because it was in the mountains, there was a lot of mosquitoes. But the mosquitoes kept bothering us, but we didn't bring any mosquito repellent, so we didn't know what to do. But then I saw a tree, and then that tree was really familiar because it was a camphor tree, or in Chinese we call it zangsu. And then zangsu was made into mosquito repellent. So I thought to myself, well, if I took the leaves down and then maybe rubbed them on my feet, maybe that would help keep the mosquitoes away. And then I did that, and sure enough, it did. It didn't bother me, but it did bother my friend. So then that's when I started to get fascinated with this camphor tree, and I started doing more research on it. So because I did research, so I wanted to start doing my experiment. This was even before the 18.4%. And then I started doing the experiment, but I didn't have the dedication, and I didn't have the time to do it. But when I heard about the 18.4%, I knew exactly what exactly I wanted to do, because I was already developing this interest. So I started my experiment. So this was my first test. I took the leaves of the camphor tree and I just submerged in water. Hopefully that will extract the camphor chemical substances from the leaves itself. And then I did that in the laboratory. However, this was the procedures I do. I just took pipettes and pipetted them into antipodes, which had LB, is a kind of bacteria growing culture thing that helps the bacteria develop. However, my first experiment failed, as you can see. So on the left, we have the antidote with no camphor, and with one with 100 microliters of camphor. As you can see, there weren't a lot of differences between them. So then my hypothesis was not supported in the first step. So I had to go back and think about what I did wrong. And I found out that what I did wrong was that I did not boil the leaves first. And then because I didn't boil the leaves, so the bacteria from the leaves from the tree would affect the results of my experiment. So this time I boiled my leaves before I did the experiment. And sure enough, there was favorable results. As you can see, from 0 microliters to 200 microliters of camphor into the antidotes, there was a significant decrease in bacteria. However, I felt that my previous two tests were a bit too rudimentary, and other scientists have already done breakthroughs in that genre of science, so I wanted to go furthermore. And that's when I started thinking about what else I can do. And I thought about what kind of bacteria can I kill that's in everyday life. And I thought about oral bacteria, just like the bacteria in your mouth. So what I did was, because in the mouth, it's more of the bacterial culture grows on a hard surface instead of water. So I used agar crates to do the experiment. And so this was my first agar crate, and the results, this was the bacteria without camphor. And this is with camphor. So there was a significant contrast between the two different kinds of bacteria. I still don't know why. I'm still trying to understand why that happened, but because there was a contrast, so it sort of supported my hypothesis. So the future, because camphor is one of it can only be found in Taiwan and China. So I feel like camphor has a really big future in the world market. It can be used in biomedical research, but also in everyday use as toothpaste and paper. So there's a lot of potential in camphor. So I'm going to leave with a quote. Small opportunities are often the beginning of great enterprises. So maybe it's just a lead to, but I believe that it can actually develop into something